Hi, everyone. Sue Matsuki with another Sue's Views. Several of you have asked me to discuss the various contracts that we sign here in New York. So some of this won't be applicable to those of you out of town. Maybe it will be. I don't know what your deals are at the clubs that you play, but I'm going to discuss the various contracts here in New York. Easiest way to do that is to bring up a visual. This is an Excel spreadsheet. As you can see, I have defined 4 different club contracts. The first being where you set the cover charge. And there's usually a $3 per person surcharge, and you pay for your tech. Second club is a 30-70 split. 70 goes to you, 30% goes to the club. But within that 30% that you're paying, your tech charges are covered and there's no per person charge. Same deal for the 60-40 split. 40% of that is 600, and that's all you pay. The guarantee club, I just want to discuss a little bit about that. This is for people who book fancy clubs on our level. This has nothing to do with the bigger name people. They have their own contracts and they also charge a much higher ticket price. This $1,200 that I'm using as an example for club number 4 is solely based on the fact that what they guarantee you is contingent on what the lowest ticket price you charge is. So if it's $35, $40, which it will be for a club like that, you're going to be in the $1,200 guarantee range. If it's 50, 60, it'll go to 13, 60, 70, you'll go to 14. And again, not the bigger names, just for us. So you have to negotiate that deal with them. But from that guarantee, you do not pay for any tech. You do not have any surcharges. It's a flat fee for you. All that comes out of that is what you pay your band or your musical director. Okay, going back to this Excel spreadsheet, after expenses, you can see that the net total for the room is $1,150 for club number 1, $1,050 and $900, and there's your $1,200 guarantee. This is just the MD. Most of us pay, in this range for our musical director alone. So if you have a band, obviously they're going to come out of this final total to the singer figure. But for now, we're just using the scenario with a musical director. So we deduct the musical director after room costs, total room cost, and this is your net for club number 1, 50 tickets sold at $30 a ticket. I use $30 because most of us charge between 20 and 40, so that's an average. So 50 people in the room will let the singer walk out of the room with $850 if she just has, or he, or they, just have a musical director. $750 for the 70-30 split club, and $600 for the 60-40 split club, and $900 for the club number 4 guarantee. So as you can see, there's not much difference between club number 1 and the club number 4 guarantee. However, club number 4 is going to want you to put 100 bodies in the room. If you do less than, I'd say 80, they probably will not invite you back. So while it sounds good for 50 tickets and what you're going to recoup for 50 tickets, the more people you put in the room, the less good of a deal it becomes. Let's take a look at the same $30 per ticket with 75 seats sold. Again, figures are self-explanatory. I'm just going to look at the total net down here after your room charges. $1,825 for club number 1, $1,575, because look at your percentage has gone up so much more. And $1,350, again, the percentage for the 40% of that total right there, less your musical director. So now you're netting for 75 tickets, you're netting $1,525 to the singer on club number 1, $1,275 to the singer for club number 2, $1,050 for club number 3, and $900 for club number 4. Now you can see that what I was talking about, the more people you put in the room, the less this deal becomes attractive because it's compared to $1,525 in club number 1. Now, club number 1 is substantially higher than the 30% that you're paying for the club now, or the 40% that you're paying for the club now. So surprising to me when I did this analysis, the club that we all complain about doing the surcharge on turns out to have the better deal overall, depending on how many people you put in the room. And this is the other thing I never really understood. The more people you put in the room, the more it should benefit you, right? You think, right? Anyway, again, negotiate with each individual club and see what they come up with. If you can negotiate, if I do over this amount of people, can we change the rate to 2080, or, there's other ways to negotiate, but they pretty much have their contract set. So now if you sell 100 tickets, that's $3,000 for each of the clubs gross. Again, club number one, less your $500 because it's going up because the per person charge, $3 times 100 people in the room is $300. That's a substantial additional expense when you think about it. You have done your job. You have filled the room. I don't understand why there isn't a sliding rate going the other way, that it becomes $2 per person and $1 per person, depending on how many people you put in the room, because I think that makes sense to me. I don't know why I'm paying more per person when I've done my job and filled the room and people are making money on drinks and food. Just saying. So this is now the net for after total room costs. This line here, line 23. 2,500, 2,100, 1,800, and you're still at your guarantee of 1,200 here. Less your musical director. So this is where if you sell 100 tickets, you can make some money. You can make some decent money. $2,200, $1,800, $1,500, $900. Again, fancy club guarantee doesn't look as attractive now with that same 100 people they expect you to put in under any of these scenarios. But look at the difference between club number one versus club number two. It's not that great a difference. It's a couple $100, but that's the expense of another band member right there, as is the difference between the 60-40 and the 70-30 split. That's a band member. So those figures will have to come down by $600 if you have a trio working with you, and then that's the net that the singer gets. So as you can see, no matter how prestigious the fancy club with a guarantee is, the deal gets worse comparatively, the more people you put into the room. Also, if you compare a 70-30 or 60-40 deal with the cover charge, pay for the tech, pay for the per person fee, it also becomes less attractive financially for you. If you take a look, 50 tickets sold, your total expense is $350. 75, your total expense is $425. 100, your total expense is $500. This is not inclusive of the musical director. 70-30 split, it's $450, $675, $900, 60-40, $600, $900, $1,200. Again, why are we paying more in a percentage when we have given the clubs more in terms of people eating and drinking? This is where I think we need to start having a conversation with some of the clubs. But again, we signed these contracts agreeing to these things. And there is the fact that when you sell out a room, they have to pay for an additional person to come in and work the room. That's a consideration. And I'm sure that's the rationale behind the 60-40, 70-30 when they're not charging you a formal tech fee, etc. All right. I know this is very confusing in a way, but I hope it's helped a little bit. I've been very candid about my feelings about this. I hope it doesn't shoot me in the foot with the clubs that I play. Sorry, guys, but you wanted an honest answer, and I feel like you're owed an honest answer. So negotiate. That's all I can say. Find the club that works for you and negotiate, and put a pen to paper and figure out what your budget is, and make sure you understand your budget so that you're not shocked at the end of the night when they come back and pay you what they pay you. Okay? Just a heads up. Take care. We'll see you at the next Sue's Views.